Okay. So, good evening, everybody. Um, let us. I'm not going to ask whether you did homework for the last one because at some point you realize how it's important for you to do the homework. And we have different level of awareness. One is curiosity, interest, and for that we can always hear a lot of things. We can read books. But if you want to go a little more deeper, there will be a reason why you're going a little more deeper. Maybe that's because you need to find some answers, or maybe you are trying to resolve some of the problems, right? So, going deeper is your choice. However, whenever you go deeper, change is guaranteed. So, first of all, take this belief. The more deeper you go with your own self and try to understand whatever is happening or what should happen, you will definitely change. That's the gift of going deeper and understanding yourself. So I'm not telling you that I was just telling Neha Bora, that 50% of doing things, at least attempting to do, will itself will give you a lot of resolution, a lot of understanding, a lot of feel good factor. Now, if you say that, okay, for a few days I'll feel good and again I'm back to same thing, no, that you're thinking like that. There will be definitely some change. And the change cannot be reverted back. The change will be not only in you, the change will be in the people around you also. That cannot be reverted back. It's like once you learn swimming, when you're thrown into water, you will try at least swimming, na? At least you will do some bit of an action, and maybe you will come up 2 3 times to say scream help at least. So it's like that. So I encourage all of you to really just do it for some time at least. Not necessarily every day. I won't say it every day because I know that there are a lot of things you're all doing it in a week, and every day you have your own life. But when you're free, you please spend 10 minutes time. Answer these questions. You don't have to, it's like not even a meditation where you just don't have to concentrate on your own. Answer these questions. That's more than enough. It's that made simple. It's like someday probably I would want to do a journal, ready-made journal for people so that they answer these questions and a lot of things will solve for them. Okay? Because you have the questions. When you have the questions, it'll provoke a kind of thoughts in your mind, and that's enough. Okay? So today we will talk about the mother, understanding your relationship with your own mother or your relationship with the idea of the mother. Okay? Now it's becoming extremely popular to go to the original mother or the Shakti and all that, right? It's like you want to align with the Shakti, the feminine energy and all that. I agree, it's nice. But if you do not solve your problem or your relationship problems, or at least your perception of relationships with your mother, then that Shakti will never flow. So keep that Shakti to come on its own. That's bigger than you anyway, right? Now let's just think about how it has been for us with our own mother. And definitely all that which mother has given us has come to her from her mother, from that grandmother to their mothers. Of course, you will go somewhere else, but we have at least one door, which is our own mother. And the more you solve that, You don't have to solve the Shakti issue. That's enough. Mother issue is enough, and the Shakti should flow. It's rather, I would like to say that you resolve whatever it is with your mother, then actually you're resolving the Shakti feminine problem, feminine energy problem, whatever. Okay. So that's what I would like to say. Now let's see. This is a little heavy session. I'm sure about that. So let us take it slow. And if you do not get the understanding of the question, at least write the question, because I have a lot of questions. Okay. And then try to answer it later. And do you need to get into some kind of a trance for this? Not necessary, because whenever we write in the journal, actually it starts coming out from the subconscious mind. That is why writing is, when you write affirmations many times, it goes to subconscious mind. When you write your sadness or whatever you're undergoing in the journal, you let go of it. So all of these, actually, handwriting is all about subconscious mind. Why do we write? There is so much of a training for a child to write the letters exactly on the line. The ruler will be there, no? Exactly, all of this, because it gives a lot of grounding exercise for the child. So it is about training the mind. You might have heard your parents saying that some of the answers which are very difficult, write it down many times and then you'll remember. At least in olden days. Nowadays, probably you will key in. I don't know how much keying in is subconscious stuff, but definitely writing is. So you don't have to be in any trance or anything. The more you are on your own and think about this question and start writing your thoughts, that's enough. A lot of things will come out which will actually give you awareness, and you'll be able to resolve stuff. Okay. So the bond we share with our mothers will have a very profound impact on many aspects of our life. You all agree with that, right? It is mother more than the father, in the positive or in the negative sense, in either way. So, some of the things which will affect our life would be something like our attachment styles, how we pursue attachments, how we like or dislike attachments. Okay, that is definitely one of that. Also, it depends on the romantic partners we choose in our life. There's always a choice, okay? If somebody is telling me, no, 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 I never had any choice, mine was arranged marriage. No, I don't agree with that. You still had a choice there. However you say, whatever you say, you always had a choice. Okay. So then next, probably the thing would be communication style. Now, communication style doesn't mean that how you're able to give a speech or anything. It's about how you can express your emotions or how you can resolve conflicts. These are mainly related to communication style. Okay. And another thing probably would be what are the patterns, or I wouldn't say pattern, what you are doing in your life, which is somewhat like your mother. It's a repetition of some style. And this style will definitely go to the childhood wounds. Okay. You may want to call it a wound, or let's say it's a childhood influences from mother. Okay. So what happens is you are going by that. You are following that. Whatever she told you, whatever you heard, whatever you saw in her also, or how she behaved with you also. Your life, major part of it is just repeating the same. Okay. Now, sometimes you may be hating them, certain few characteristics. So you think that, no, I cannot repeat that. I'm very aware and I don't want to be my mother. But you know what? Surprisingly, you will be repeating it no matter what. And that is why you seem to think that, oh, why do I get this kind of a partner? Why am I in this kind of situations all the time? Why do I not get so much money? Because you're repeating what your mother experienced, or what you learned from your mother, or what you saw from her. This is very complicated actually. I had a client who, it's not so much different from father also. Okay. But we are talking only about the mother, so I'm concentrating on that. But it's the same thing with the father too, and it's same thing with other people while you're growing who are there in your life, who are influencing you. A lot of things will go with that. I had a client who was always feeling that he is paid a lot by the company and he's not doing so much of work. It had become such a big anxiety for him that how can they pay me so much while I'm not doing any work? Now, I was trying to say that it's all right, you're getting paid anyway, so why bother? But the fear is if they realize that I'm not doing any job, they'll throw me out tomorrow. Okay. And when we went deeper, what became is my parents gave me everything, good education, lot of importance, attention, but my brother did not get it. And I am not doing any job. So see the fear slowly, when you go layer deeper, this is how you have to realize. These are the awareness. So brother he can't even speak very good English, etc. But he's taking care of his father's business, which is not anything great. But I studied very well and I'm like, taken up a good job, blah, blah, blah. And I feel very guilty because my father um, and my parents too, my mother too, they did so much for me. But I am not really working so much hard equal to that. Okay. What more? When we went even more deeper, I actually resent my father for his behavior. Okay. But I feel guilty for resenting him because he did so much for me. See, this, you hate him because of whatever he's doing, but you're very guilty to hate him because he gave you so many things. So there is a feeling of guilty to hate him. And so how are you paying him back? I'm drinking like him. I'm enacting like him. It's like I have so much guilty. I should be actually loving you, but there are things which you have done which I cannot love you. So how do I just show my love? I become like you. So this is how the deeper layers, when you go, you realize every small detail in your life can be playing in your life. Though it feels that I'm done with my mother. And okay, she may not be there anymore. So it's like, okay, guilt, everything is done. I worked on it, gone. My sadness is gone. Okay, my question is then, is your life different now? Or is it still the same? No, there's nothing connected with my mother. That's a different thing. No, it's not. It will be connected with your mother. And it will be connected with how father treated your mother too. So they are integral part of your life. It's very difficult to get these influences out. Maybe in your next life, if you have a different parents. But can we be aware of it so that you consciously do not make it as yours? It's possible. just by being aware of it. It's so possible just by being aware of it. Now, what happens if I'm being aware of it? The solution is also subconscious. So let's say that you had money issues because over and again you heard what your mother said. So you have money issues in your life. Now you realize, okay, this is how it is coming from. But in reality, how was your life? You could manage. The very fact that you are living up till now means you managed. So when these things come to life and when you understand, come to light and understand that I gathered these things from my mother, suddenly your money factor changes. And that means you actually changed the belief by acknowledging it. But the point is, we have to go to those layers, right? And that can come only if you go deeper to understand the meaning of it or the source of it. And your mind is very beautiful. When you start thinking about it, it will throw up memories which you have already undergone in your life. And look at it like an observer. And then you're done with it. Okay? So that's how probably you'll do it. So what happens is subconsciously, when we have all of these things in our life, we will be seeking partner. Unconsciously, we will seek partners who evoke the same familiar emotional experiences for us. I'm not saying that your partner will be same like your mother or your father. I'm not saying that. They're different. But the experience they give you will be compared with, or it's similar to the same experience, emotional experience you got in your childhood, or your mother felt it. It is something like that. That's how we are magnets, and we attract the same kind of things only. So we have to change the magnet. Then we change our what we are seeking in life too. So that's how it works. Now let's see. So let's discover what was the impact of your mother in your life. There will always be good impact as well as bad impact, that we know it very well. However, what we remember the most is what replays in our mind. There are many good things also. But when we are addressing in a situation like this, when we take up an intent and we think, whatever comes up in your mind is what is mostly impacting you. Okay? And what we are replaying that. Okay? So maybe she is inherited from her mother and her mother, so it's going on and on. But don't worry about that. It's enough for us to understand our own relationship with our own mothers to resolve or enhance. If it's a bad thing, if it's something stopping you from being really have a good time, then you'll resolve that. If you're having great time, then you'll enhance it for a better life. So how are we going to do that? I have series of questions now. Now the thing is, so we will relax ourselves a little bit, okay? And we focus and we concentrate. And then I want you all to just keep your book. And then as I ask the question, I will give you sufficient time. As I ask the question, I want you to quickly write it. Like last time, I encourage all of you to learn shorthand. But then, since we don't know about it, we can write it faster. Not a complete sentence, but something which makes sense to you. You're all ready? Okay. So just sit comfortably. Let us just make ourselves comfortable a bit and focus on our own self. That's what we need to do. Just close your eyes. Take one deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just pay attention to all the sounds around you. Some are very close by and some are distant sounds. Pay attention to the sounds inside your body. Swallow your saliva and then feel the sound in your tongue when you roll it, how it sounds. Is there any sound in your head? Then pay attention to the visions with a closed eye. Is it total blank? Or is there something which you're seeing through this blank? Don't have to make any sense out of it, just observe. Is it possible for you to bring in your own picture, some picture, purposefully, even though it's not there in your mind? Is it possible for you to bring it and look at that? Is it possible? Just check. Maybe imagine a candlelight. Is that possible for you? How does that feel? Is it subjective or objective? Pay attention to all the subtle sensations on your skin. Scan from the head till the toe and just check. Suddenly you'll feel probably your body is showing so many more sensations. Just acknowledge even that. Maybe touch your palm and feel it, how it feels. And as you're feeling your palm touching, what's the vision you're getting in your mind? These are very beautiful thing to understand our own selves. Let's try another thing. How much of consciousness is there focused in your body? And I ask this question, what does that come to your mind? Is that a picture? Or is it a feeling? Or it's an awareness? The next question would be, is that enough for you? If it's not enough, remember you're a magnet, call it. And when that comes back to you, how does your body feel? Do you feel more energetic? Do you feel any change anywhere in your body? Now again, take attention back to your breathing. Make it a very slow breathing. And open your eyes. Okay, so now concentrate. Keep your book right next to you. You're not going to pay attention to anybody or anything. Only my questions and whatever comes to your mind. I don't want you to think a lot. I want you to just answer whatever comes to your mind, however it is. Analysis, we can do it later. The whole point is not to analyze, but to just go on writing. So, just think about your mother. Whenever you want, you can just close your eyes a bit and get in touch with that, and then you can open your eyes and write it. That's how it goes. So, think about your mother. And the very first thought is what age of your mother you're thinking, which direction you're seeing her, or what is that, maybe the feel of her, something like that about the mother. Think. And then, so these, when I'm telling you think, these could be visuals, these could be feelings, these could be some thoughts about your mother. Now, the first thought which you got about your mother, write it down. Maybe it's a vision, maybe when I'm saying vision, it's a picture, or maybe it's an event, or maybe it's kind of a thought, your opinion, or it's a feeling. It sometimes could be smell also. So just write it down that small little thing, write it down. Don't go too much into understanding everything because I have the questions coming. So just write what I just tell you. Now ask yourself, why are you remembering this event? What is there in that which is taking your attention? Whatever comes to your mind, you write it. In this particular thought or a vision which you got about your mother, what is that one thing which is important for you? When I'm saying important, it is like your mind has noticed. Maybe her posture, or maybe her, when you look at her, what something brings in you, like maybe you feel a great person kind of a feeling, whatever that may be, or you pity her, or something like that, which is suddenly has come to your mind, and that you're going to write. Now, next, I want you to write down the emotions which you are identifying in your mind. It may be related to her, or it may be your own opinion kind of emotion, or it may be in that situation or event what she felt which you observed, or that vision or the thought is invoking some series of emotions for you. Whatever that may be, just write it down. Now, based on what so far you've written, what is your conclusion about her? I don't want you to mix that your conclusion about your mother in general so far in your life. Don't bring that here. What you saw just now, what you wrote just now, just think only about that situation, event, or timeline. And from that, arrive at what do you think you conclude about her based on that maybe that event experience, based on that personality at that moment, based on your emotions. What are the conclusion you drew about your mother? Your opinion. Maybe some belief also popped out. Maybe there is a judgment. Maybe you remembered the judgment she made on you. This is one set of, it's let's say one block, one set of related questions. So when you are done, maybe you raise your thumb up or something like that, then I'll know. Yeah, Anna is done, Neha is done, another Neha is done. And let me know a few more and then I'll move to the next one. Okay, even Parveen is done. Tripti is done.
Can we get like a 2-minute break?
Oh, what does it say it again?
Can we get like a 2-minute break?
Why?
Because I'm just like, it's like waiting for a break for 2 minutes so I can use the restroom. I didn't
Okay,
want to do that on a
go ahead.
recording.
Yeah, please go ahead and come back. Don't retire inside the restroom, okay? Come back fast. So while she is gone, I think quite a few of you have done. I'll try to put these questions also back in the WhatsApp group, but I think it's too much. But still, I'll put it so that you know my understanding is I wrote this exercise, this one question 5 times. I did 5 times. I remember different things. Okay, and it's very interesting because each one gave me positive as well as negative. But at the end of it, I kind of was done with it. Both, good and bad. It's like I understood and I was done with it. So this is the kind of a thing. And I had a aha moment. It's like, oh my God, this is why it is in my life. This is exactly how it is. That is why you just do it one such thing. It may not. But my request for all of you is 5 memories you take and do it, okay? You did it one now, but as a homework, do the other 4. If the same memory is repeatedly popping out, then you have something deeper there. You have to really go deeper, more deeper in layers, and you need to crack it. Okay? So you're all ready? We'll go to the next question. Okay. So again, just keep thinking about your mother. You've already thought about her now. So in your mind, the picture might be different. Okay, something would have become stronger. So now I want you to answer these. What do you think you have learned or you got it from your mother prominently? It could be a characteristic behavior. It could be like, oh, I got the nose like my mother. It can be that.
Is
Yes,
it linked to
Pala.
the first question? Is it linked to the first set?
No, leave the first set. It will be linked because it's the same mother. But, but what I'm saying is that is a different set. This is another set. Okay? But of course, as you said, it will be linked. Just go ahead and write whatever comes to your mind. So don't worry about it. So it can be physical characteristics. It can be behaviors. And prominently what you got from your mother, there'll be good and bad. If you're a person who's trying to concentrate too much positive things in your life, you may end up only getting positive things, but that is, I call it as cheating, because we are surely have a lot of bad things also. There is nothing called positive or negative, if you ask me. So anyway, go ahead and write it. And so you wrote, what is that you got from your mother prominently? And write down what influenced you from your mother. If you look at it, what did you get like a gift or learned from your mother prominently is something which it's like inherited. It just came to you, which without your intervention, actually. Like a child, when it's growing, everything comes like that. But when I'm saying what influenced you from your mother is as if that you allowed it to happen. You chose it. You accepted it. This is the difference. Maybe again, good and bad.
It could be unconsciously you accepted it, right?
Most of these are unconscious, but you
Yeah.
allowed it.
Yeah.
It's like the way your mother eats mango. And subconsciously, whenever you're eating the mango, you eat the same way. Or your mother, how she used to keep things on the table or on the kitchen counter. You expect the whole family of yours do the same thing. And there are so many things we have got influenced by our mothers. Maybe walking style, dressing sense. It can be in the negative sense also. You never liked your mother dressing sense, so that you're making sure that particular way you'll never dress. But isn't it the repetition of some pattern in the negative side? Every time remembering that I shouldn't do like that. And the way she behaved with her husband or partner, her belief system about marriage, and her parents, and her work ethics, and how did she spend money? What did she talk about neighbors? What does she think about pets? Did she have desires? What does she think, or she used to think, something great in life? What was her expectations from you? What was her thought regarding good and bad? All of these are influences in our life, no doubt. So whatever you can remember, you write it. Definitely we cannot cover all, but still some major things which are coming to your mind, you can actually write it. And the fantastic thing is, after we are done with it, play this again answer. Because when someone is asking the question, your mind will go tongue, tongue, tongue. It'll jump from each picture like this and it'll give you. It's much easier to drift the mind when someone is in the background asking questions. Then what happens is, why that influenced you? Is it because she's your mother? Everything will influence you? Or there is some kind of a secure feeling you have with your mother, or some belief that she can never go wrong. She's a strong personality, so whatever she says and does, I believe. Is that how it is? That's why it influenced you? And your thought patterns are going like that, no? Just think where it end. Where did it end? That is where basically you would have made a conclusion. So take something and this thing. Why did you get influenced by that? Why did you get influenced? Okay. How did that end for her? This belief of hers or whatever which influenced you, how did that end in her life? Or what made her in her life because of that thing? See, one thing, remember this. This is your perception of your mother. Let's say good or bad, what she believes. That's again your perception. She may not be thinking that is good or bad. But assuming that that's good or bad for her, find out in her life how that played. That characteristics, that behavior, which is prominent, which you saw, how did that make her life? Was that good or was that bad according to you? It's very important to know that. Why? Because 90% of chances that you will end up like that because you have the same thing.
But certain things happen according to DNA, right?
See, DNA, especially DNA, if you're talking about it, it is there, it will never trigger until there is a environmental trigger. Behavior as well as genetical disorders. They will never trigger until environment makes it trigger. Let it be DNA, who cares? But how that happened to her? Because of her characteristics, her behavior, her good or bad feeling. Okay, and whatever she influenced you, how that actually happened to her in her life. Just one second, Neha. Now, check your life. Are you going in the same path?
Ishani, every individual has their own characteristics as well, right?
Yeah, but surprisingly, we have taken all of this from our parents. Mostly. Or people, as I said, people around you who were influencing. Like, let's say there was a grandparent, father figure, something like that, mother figure. We can't avoid this at all. We are them. Let's say that way. It doesn't mean that you are sanctioning yourself to be them. all their fates, all their problems, you will take it. I'm not saying that. The whole idea is to understand that can we have a different choice in our life, knowing all of this. So it's important to see that how much of your mother is running in your life. And while you guys are thinking, let me talk to, it's very surprising. Only Neha's a question.
I didn't understand. So you said the characteristics you saw. How did that make your life? Her behavior and good and bad feeling about things. I didn't understand what do you mean by how did that make your life? Like, is it like she made a hell or heaven, or what do you mean exactly?
She didn't make anything. You made it, heaven or hell. That's your choice. What I'm saying is, let's assume that my mother, I'll just give example of my own mother. My mother had a very strict rule that whatever she cooks, she won't use the same utensil to put it on the table. She will take that into a different presentable thing and then she will keep it on the table. And after all of us finish our food, when you're putting it back into the fridge or wherever, you are supposed to put it back to a different, that quantity one, and how many you will wash, isn't it? She wouldn't understand that. This is how it should be. So now my mother is no more with me, but whenever there is somebody in the house, like a guest, I end up doing this unknowingly. And when no one is at home, I don't even care from where I'm eating. Okay. I kind of go let loose of myself and then I'll make mess out of everything. There is a sense of freedom there. However, I tend to say the same thing to my children. Why? Because there is a strong sense of parenting. And this is how it should be types. So there are so many things which are affecting us, right? The moment you understand it, you'll say that, no, I have my own way. I'll do that way. I don't have to do this. So that's why I'm trying to tell you, like, whatever your mother did, how did it end up? Like, okay, I was probably washing all the vessels, or someone was washing all the vessels in her life. And when she became old, she was cribbing about it, that no one is really sticking by her rules. And she was not able to do it fully. Okay, so there were a lot of fights for that between me and my mother. But then, this is how did she end up with that? Lot of effort, unnecessary effort. How did that affect me in my life? Whatever I told you. Maybe this is just a very silly example, but this is how even every small little things will be affecting us in our life. That's why I want you all to identify it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Neha, other Neha, tell me.
So I have a list of things for the question, what influenced me from my mother. But
Mhm.
when it comes to the next question, why did I get influenced? I was blank. I don't know.
That's a very good answer. I don't know. Yes, because we are their children, so we don't know. We take it. If you ask me why did I get influenced by mother, I don't know. But I feel that I loved her so much. I felt like, oh, she's such a nice character. So I would want to do all of that what she did, even the bad one. Maybe that was my bonding with her. Doing whatever she says.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the time I was away in studies. So when I come back, I would do everything which my mother says because it's a bonding time. This is all I'm saying. Go a little more deeper, then you'll understand why it is like that. Okay? The more you think, the more you will get it. Okay, so we came to another question end. Anybody wants to go to the loo? Neha, tell me.
Uh, as a child, um, I was not very observant of the kitchen and this and that because I was always serviced by my mom and whoever. Because we were always in school playing this, that. not interested at all. We just got everything ready in our hands. But as I grew older, especially as soon as I got married, post that, I started seeing my mom in a completely different light. In the sense, how much she did or how she serviced and how she was always, and then I would be on the her side and opposite of my father. In the sense, I would keep telling my father, like, what is this? I started seeing her in a completely different light. But that was only after I got married. Up until then, I was just the regular school, college going, full of our own things, and just came home and got everything because that's the way it was.
But still, even then, subconsciously something you would have really gathered from her because she was available for you. So look at from
All
the
the
point
time.
of view of emotionally availability, or whether she was authoritative compared to your father, how she was, or what was she getting it from the father, how did she handle the father and other people. All of that matters to us.
Yeah,
And
all
that's,
that I've
yeah,
already written. That came
exactly.
naturally.
Exactly, Neha. And nothing is good or bad. Please do not think your mother was bad. She did what best she could do. What we are trying
No,
to figure out is how it's we have taken that in our life. That's all. Just to understand
right.
us more. So if I know these are the things I got it from my mother, then rest all is me, right? There is my part there. So I want to understand my part. So there is from mother, father, and so much more we are going to do. Then finally you will realize where is my part? Please let's grow that little part of ourselves big. That's the whole idea. Okay, guys, I still have two more questions, so let's do it faster. Okay, but if you're all saying that no, I'm already tired, I don't want to bring my dig into my history, I can stop this.
No, no,
Yeah,
let's do it.
No, let's do it.
let's do it. Whether you want to answer it or not, or later you'll answer, your choice. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on to beliefs from your mother. Okay.
This is
So,
my part three.
yep. Third
Is
question.
sorry,
Yeah. Right.
it's the third set, no, of questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So just think about what beliefs you are carrying from your mother. Now, this is a very technical question, isn't it? So let's change into what we can understand. What are those some few things which she kept telling you, which you remember? It can be like, oh, girls have to be very fair and beautiful, dress up like this. Or it may be like, money is very scarce, you have to take care of it, think about it or whatever. Or something like that. I really don't know. My mother used to say that anything can be done from hard work. Practice makes man perfect is what something which she kept drilling in my head. That is one thing. And she would say, show up, go forward, don't just stand back, go forward. There are times when she's just pushed me forward and I'm just exposed in this whole gang. I'm like, what? Why am I here? So all of these things have happened. But these are the beliefs which you carry, you know. And for all your good life, she has done it, but not necessarily good for you now. That is why. Just easiest thing is go from like primary school, middle school, high school, college, think like that. It's much easier to find out. And there will be one period of time which you are most affected by your mother. You'll be very surprised actually. So when you're writing these beliefs, I want you to replay those situations in your mind. You know, every belief or everything which you've heard from her, which is so much written in your mind, is associated with one situation. It happened to you. Like you'll see her face looking at you and telling that. Or, you know, she's doing something and she's telling you that. And some opinions she would have created it for you. Like, oh, you are very hard worker. You will do everything what you want. You are a go-getter. You know, things like that should have told. Or you're such a, you know, you let down, you let me down, you're not a good person, you're very difficult for you, all of this. You're not good at it. It could be that also. So think about those situations. And she may not have said anything. It's just the action which made you create a belief in your mind, which caused you those beliefs. Now, when you've got at least one or two beliefs written, just think about those first one or two things which you've written, how these things are played out in your life. Or how are you playing out these beliefs in your life? We will be adhering it to it. We have become those beliefs. Or maybe, like, you know, because we all have done a lot of therapies and a lot of healing, self-healing, you've done it. At least some of the beliefs were there and how it played in your life. And probably you can even write how you came out of it. That's a good thing for you only to prove yourself that you can change those beliefs. When you're all done, please tell me. I'll move on to the next block. Anna is done. Nehas are done.
Part 4, no, now?
Huh? Which one?
Part 4.
Yes,
Part 4.
fourth one, part 4. Yes. Part 4 is very easy for you. Okay. Part 4 talks about what are some of the griefs, guilts, anger, sadness, and shame related to your mother you remember. Again, I'll tell you, maybe just jot down those. Grief. You write like grief dash and you can write da, 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 da. Then so 2-3 lines you leave. And then you write guilt and some of the guilt situations. And then comes anger. Again, 5 lines leave and you write sadness, leave 5 lines, and shame. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we have. 5 emotions we have, which are quite stronger emotions. That's why we are only writing those.
What is the last one? Share, is it?
Shame, shame,
Oh, shame.
shame. Okay.
So, what are some of these 5 emotions that we what? Observed, shared, picked up what?
Some of the situations which have happened in your life between you, either between you and your mother, okay, where you both are involved and these things came out, or you saw in your mother.
Can you repeat the 5? Guilt, anger, sadness, shame, and
First one was grief,
grief.
guilt, anger, sadness, and shame. So it's very important to see how she managed these. Maybe with you, or maybe with herself. Like when my father died, how did she grieve? Will give me an insight as to, is that how I am also grieving? Or it might tell you like, oh my God, I never realized, how did she grieve actually? I didn't pay attention only. Then there is a small little guilt in your head. What was I doing at the time? So it's like that. Lot of things it will bring out your presence, how much role you played in this whole situation. It may be a great anger between you and your mother. And why it was anger for her and what was for you? Was it sadness? Her anger was your sadness? Her anger created shame in you? Or why did she do that? Out of shame, she hid everything? Was that shameful? So these are the questions you need to ask. Sometimes we see that how other people behave with the mother, and then it just makes you feel extremely sad. So you have to ask yourself the question, why does that make me feel sad? And why I couldn't act? Of course, you're the child. You don't have any rights to act like that. But it's very relative. Now, how much of those emotions are triggering in you? Even now. So this will tell you that my mother's shame actually triggers in me. If when someone is treating me like that, actually that shame is actually triggering me. It's like that. You'll know how things are triggering in you. I'm not telling all 100% of your emotions are your mother's. There are so many other people have contributed for you. Okay? But then predominant because she is the primary caretaker. And how are you dealing with those emotions? There could be pattern exactly like how your mother dealt with it. If she has felt helpless, you would be feeling helpless now in your life when you encounter those kind of situations. Now, another question is, what have you become because of those emotions? Have you become numb? You're no more feeling, sensing the emotions? Or are you avoiding? Are you hiding? Have you put all those as your shadow personality? Are you not embracing fame? Are you cheating yourself from prosperity? You have fear of something? What have you become because of those emotions? The final question of this block is that possible for you to acknowledge this is happening to me? Sometimes it's difficult even to acknowledge. But can we accept that, yes, this emotion is triggering me? Or, yes, I become numb. Very recently, one person, when I was doing something with her, she told me that I have put all my emotions under the carpet and I need to bring it out. And then I need to see those. There is nothing great being numb. See it, then your life will grow, she told me. I agree with her. I totally agree with her. It's all our coping mechanism because we don't have any choice. We have to live in our lives And so we do that. But we have to remember that when we acknowledge, when we accept, bring it to life, we can choose a different possibility. Otherwise, we keep on repeating the same thing over and again. And we'll also become very numb to the other relationships because it becomes a habit for us to put everything under the carpet. And we declare that other people are really bad towards you and they're no emotion stones. But actually, we have made it that way. Okay, so these are the different blocks. Okay, now the next thing is a big homework, which you don't have to go back and see your journal because already have provoked many thoughts in you. So just keep thinking about it, and then you see, when you look in the mirror, whom are you seeing? Basically, where is your own part? Where is your mother part? Just acknowledge that. There are a lot of good part also of your mother's. There are a lot of not so good part. There are bad parts also. And that's okay. It's all your choice to be those parts. This will bring out how intimately you are connected with your mother. And it's very nice. Actually, it's all nice. It's the biggest love towards your mother, to be like her. And we also realize how love and loyalty plays such a big role. And in a way, it's a gratitude to our mother, but we don't have to show gratitude in a wrong way or wrong influences in our lives. The whole exercise is to understand that part and to grow out of your mother image because you're big now. And you be who you are. So there is one more way of working on all of this. Whichever which is strongly hit you, that one thing, do it later, not now. One thing you keep thinking about it and follow your thought process. That's all. From that one thought, which is, we wrote many things, right? One thing which really hit you hard or remembered so much. And then from there, what is the next thought? And what is the, so, follow the thought pattern. And also the awareness along with that. Follow the thought pattern. Like how I said, the vessels kind of a thing, whatever she kept changing my mother. I wondered why I was totally okay with that because that gave a bonding between me and my mother. That's an awareness. The thought is she kept doing it. Why did she do it? What did I do? Etc. And the awareness is, oh, that actually was such a great bond between me and my mother, even now when I think about it. So that is the awareness part. So we have a thought process and an awareness. So something which is very prominent for you, I want you to go dig deeper, layer after layer. That is nothing but the thought which takes one after the other, one after the other. It goes on jumping, jumping, jumping. And in between, you'll start getting the awareness, why it is so, how it is so. And you just have to recognize that. Okay? That's about it. So we are going to end the meeting now. And please do it the whole day whole week rather, and see what unfolds to you. A lot of beautiful things will unfold. A lot of changes will come. Okay. Yeah. Take care. Bye. Thank you, Vinya.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.